Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the new command that was added in snapshot 22W46A. This command is meant to be added to the game in 1.19.3, whenever that will release. And I spoke about it a little bit in my snapshot video yesterday. If you want to check that out, then it'll be linked in the description. Today I want to go into more depth on what the actual command can do, because it's actually a really useful command and I have been testing around with it a little bit to find out what it's actually useful for. So the first thing, this is mostly or only useful for people who have access to creative mode or command, because you cannot actually do it in survival mode. You need command permissions, or obviously you need cheats enabled. So we are currently within an ocean biome, as you can see on F3. I've just put a flat grass block here so you guys can see. Now you can also see that there is some windswept savanna right here, as you can tell by the grass color, but everywhere else is actually ocean. Well, if I stand on this block right here, let's actually go one below. So as you can see, standing on this block, if I quickly just use the command fill biome, then do the command, so where I'm standing, to 30 blocks by 30 blocks up by 30 blocks in the other direction, and then let's fill it with mushroom fields. Let's just do 10 blocks up, because apparently that was too high. As you can see, the grass color has now changed to match mushroom fields. Now, as you can see, it hasn't quite done it this end, and it hasn't also picked up every single block. As you can see, this one is mushroom fields, but the grass color hasn't changed in it, which I don't know if that's a bug or if that's just part of the gradient between the biomes. But you can see we done 30 blocks, which is around about here. Some blocks have been overdone, some blocks have been underdone. But as you can see, as long as you specify where the actual grass is, then it will change. But if you see, as you can see, above it, it is mushroom. If I actually go below it, you can see it's still ocean. That's because I was standing on this block here when I specified the biome. So not only is this a good command to change the color of grass, this also works with the color of vines and any other foliage that has obviously tinting. As you can see, if I was to place leaves in this biome, they were a lot darker than leaves in this biome, because obviously the biome has changed. It's the same with vines. If I was to place vines there, as you can see, the color difference is noticeable. But the biggest thing to note here is this is a way to create your own sort of 3D biomes. So for example, if you wanted a player at the very top of the world to start in, let's say, a desert, then you can set a desert up here. Then maybe if you want 50 blocks below the desert, you want a jungle, then you can do that. You just obviously need to make sure you specify the correct Y value and also X and Z value. I'm just going to show you a quick example. So if I go to this block that I'm standing at right now, and let's change this to a bamboo jungle. Then let's go a few more blocks up from the bamboo jungle, and let's set this one to let's set it to a badlands. As you can see, the grass color has changed. And now, if I quickly just look at the jungle, which you can see right there on my screen, as you can see, it's let's go up, it's a badlands, now it's a bamboo jungle, now it's mushroom fields, and that is all within a, like a 10-20 block radius in the Y. And just like the mushroom fields, these will all have different grass colors and foliage colors depending on how high they are. As you can see, the color does change between them. Now, another thing I am going to answer is, can mobs spawn if you change the biome? So currently we are in an ocean, which means that only fish, dolphins, squids and stuff like that will spawn. But this area right here is classed as the mushroom fields. So I've now set it to mycelium. So that means that mushroom cows should be able to spawn, as long as obviously we are above, I think it's 24 blocks. So let's quickly just go AFK up here for a second, and let's see if any actual mushrooms do spawn on that platform. I couldn't manage to get it to work with the mycelium, so I decided to build another platform above where I set the jungle, and that didn't seem to spawn anything either. So I built another mycelium platform just behind me, and see if that worked. I've now done an ocean one, to just see if fish or anything spawned. And it don't seem to be the case. I don't know if that's just me getting unlucky, or if setting biome breaks the spawning rules. But as you can see, because I set this as a lukewarm ocean, the water color does actually change, as well as obviously the grass and leaf color. But yeah, as you can see, I AFK'd here for about 5 minutes and no fish, no squids, no dolphins, or even no pufferfish spawned here. So I don't know, maybe let's try setting it as a lush cave to see if axolotls spawn, because I thought maybe it was the mob cap was a bit broken. Okay, so it seems like tropical fish are actually spawning in it now that I've set it lush cave. So I'm guessing there's something wrong with the mob cap, so it's not like 100% always guaranteed. But as you can see, if I look in there, you can see there are tropical fish. There are no axolotls, but I think that's because they require clay or something to be underneath. So their spawning rules are different. But yeah, as you can see, there are tropical fish in here now. There is a bug at the moment where the watercolor doesn't always update when behind glass. As you can see here, it's still using the lukewarm. As soon as I place a glass block, it then bugs even more until I place another one. There we go, that's updated it now. I don't know if that's a bug or if that's something they will fix. But yes, the actual biome you change it to does depend on the mobs that spawn here. We are now within a lush cave, and as you can see, tropical fish are spawning. As you can see, you can now technically force entities to spawn. If you are building like a map, or you're on a server, and for example, let's say you want this island here to be your spawn, but you don't like the biome it is, you can now sell it to a different biome before you create your world. Or let's say you want here to be spawn, but you don't like how it's a swamp. You can literally jump straight in here, and you can then fill it to be, let's say you want spawn just to be a basic plains biome. As you can see, it's now a plains, and all of the actual grass, foliage and water has changed. Now this is not going to be easy to do if it's a very big area, because the command is limited to the actual size. But once again, something that does limit this is the Y value. As you can see, if I go down here, this is still a swamp, only the top surface is plains. So if you want this to be like really work, you will have to go as deep down as you want it before it is obviously a swamp, because down here is still swamp. If I was now set it to plains, it will now be a plains, but once again, if you go any deeper down, it will still be a swamp until you go into the underground biomes. My thoughts on this command: I think it's a really good command. Now there are some bugs with it, but that's expected because obviously this is the first ever time we've seen it, and it's an unexpected change as well. Now some changes I would like to see to the command is maybe if you enter a certain symbol. So let's say for example, if I was to remove the 25 and put maybe a hashtag or something, that would then change the biome from bedrock to the sky. Because I think always specifying the Y is kind of annoying, especially if you want like this whole swamp to be changed. And I also think the limit behind the command, I understand why it's there. It's also there for the fill command and a few other commands. Yes, as you can see, the maximum is 32,768 blocks. I hope that is removed for at least the fill biome command. I understand why it's there, because obviously they don't want you doing a 1,000 by 1,000 area or something like that and then crashing the game because it's trying to load too much. But I wish maybe for the fill biome that is upped maybe to, I don't know, 50,000 or something. If I was to now bone meal it, as you can see I'm getting dandelions and I also get poppies. I will no longer get the blue orchids. If I was to bone meal this little bit, as you can see blue orchids are being spawned, but over here they are not. So it does completely change the biome. I just wanted to talk a bit more about this command because I think it's such a good command. I think that there are some changes that we need to see to it, like the actual gradient between the two sometimes can be annoying. So maybe there should be a way to add gradient and remove gradient through, I don't know, maybe doing something like this. And then there is another tag here called gradient, and then you put true or false. Because sometimes you might not want the gradient between the two biomes, or you might want more subtle, or maybe there is like an integer which you can enter. 0 is no gradient, 100 is 100% gradient, and it'll gradient as best it possibly can. As you can see by the gradient, I set here a 30 by 30. Now as you can see, this glass is 30 blocks long, So the gradient has carried quite a lot over. So I really think there should be a way to remove or add the gradient. So maybe 100% is this right here. Maybe 50% would be half of this. So maybe the gradient would start cutting off around there. And 0, it would just be a straight cut line. Let me know what you guys think of the command in the comment section down below. And also what uses you have for it. If you have messed around with it and made or build anything, then let me know, as I think this command is so useful. But anyway, that is where I'm going to end this video. If you did enjoy, leave a like and subscribe, and I guess I'll see you guys next time. Bye!